Hey everybody, it's Jim from Jim's Wholiest of Coleus, and as promised, I want to shoot out a video on how things are progressing with the new crop. Again, I planted 90% of these, 95% of them on Christmas Day, and some of them a day or two later, but which accounts for some of the smaller ones. So as you can see, I tried to keep most of the pods down to 4 or 5. There were a number of them that I threw a little more in, but that's not a big deal because as they get a little bigger, I can choose some of the ones that look really small and just tweeze them out. But I let them go. There's a few here again that are a little later, and if you're following me along. If you notice, I have one of my earlier videos. I have the black stockings plant, which I've had for years, and I've had really no luck in getting seed pods to germinate, or seed pods to develop rather. And finally, I did get a small seed pod this year, way at the end of the season when I brought the plant inside. Got a little seed pod. I let it go as long as I could, but unfortunately, it wasn't outside to be pollinated by the bees, so it just didn't develop much. But I did manage to get around, I'd say about 25 seeds. But again, seeds also have to mature in those pods. So if you cut those pods too soon before the flowers fall off and so forth, your seeds may not mature as well. So a well matured seed pod will give you a better chance for germination. So you can see some of these are really strong. Just after well, you do it, it's like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Yeah, not even today's the 9th, so it's yeah, it's just under 2 weeks. So I'm still hopeful. Look, in my eyes, if I get 5 or 6 black stockings plants out of here, I'm happy, because I've had the same black stockings plant. Let's go pan over here and offer a show for years. And again, it's trimmed down. Like I said in my other videos, it starts, your coleus are going to start to look like hell. They're really going to lose color and so forth. And I trim off some dead branches there. I just keep trimming them down, and I keep it alive. Make sure I water it, and it'll last through the winter into spring. And before you know it, it'll be a nice, big, huge, beautiful plant again. So what I'm doing now, I just took it out of the greenhouse. Again, once if you're doing these trays or however many plants you're doing, have the covers. Once you first see the plants germinate, and you'll see them, you start to see these green germinations. You want to pop these off a little bit, like that. Just to get some air circulating in there, because there's a lot of moisture in there. You don't want to get any mold. I've been really lucky. I had no mold this year, which I'm real proud of. So right now, I'm just surveying what I have here. I'm taking them out, giving them a little bit of very indirect sun, just coming through the dining room, the bay window. There's a little bit of you see a little of that string mold growing up onto the wood plant stakes. So, and there's a little, like a mushroom ball of mold. It's kind of neat. Other than that, there's no string mold across these. And again, if you do get them, it's not a problem. Just get a little, like a modeling brush, something very small and very fine, and just brush the mold, the little powdery. It'll just look like a white film, and just brush it aside. It's not going to kill the plant. And then again, watch your water. Again, these are pretty soaked. I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to put them back into the greenhouse after I shoot this video. Just monitor them. The outer edge ones, if you're using a full tray like this, if you use the less amount of pods, the smaller pod you have, the more likelihood they're going to dry out. But these kind of keep themselves really moist, these ones in the center. So I just monitor them, you know, in a couple of more weeks. These ones on the edge here, and you can really tell some of them like this is starting to get a little bit, but it's still moist. And I'll just go from there. If I see that they're dried out, especially when you have germinations in here, you don't want them to dry. You want to give these every chance they have. So I'll just drop a little water on them, not too much again, and let's go from there. So just keep the tray tops on partially on the side. Just pop them off a little bit. Just give it, you know, give it some air. I rotate them around. Same thing here. I'll put them out on the table for an hour or so. Not too long because I don't want them, again, I don't want them to dry out. I'll give them a little bit of this light, but the air and the light does wonders for the germination. You want to get a lot of air circulation, like if you follow along all my videos I've said, especially later on when they're out in that greenhouse and we got those 100-degree, 90-degree days where it's 110 degrees, I have that fan going. You want to get lots of air circulating over these, lots of oxygen, because that's the key. Oxygen, water, sun, photosynthesis. It's a pretty basic horticultural biology, I guess you could say. But yeah, just you don't want to burn these because again, they're just very, very delicate germination. So I'll just give them a little bit of light and air, and then I'll be back in the greenhouse. And you know, I'm not going to do this every day, just every couple of days. And I just closely monitor again the edges. Let's see if we can get a real close up here. So again, we got 4 or 5. There's a couple of ones that are a little overcrowded. I try to spread them out, but it's hard. You know, you're dropping them down with your finger or whatever way you choose. My other video, I showed how I did it, but I think I was pretty successful in spreading them out. And there's a number of people that asked, you know, and again, it depends on how many you're doing, but what can I do with these? Like, when can I transplant them into another pot? Now, if you're just growing a dozen or so Coleus, and say you, say this right here, perfect example, here's a single Coleus, and that's it. You know, that one's developing. No one says that at this point right now, you can't take a small dollar store, say, decorative plastic planter, fill it with good quality potting soil, Miracle Grow, don't get the cheap stuff, and fill it with potting soil, make a little hole in the center, and drop this pod down in the center and kind of gently pat it around. No one says you can't do that, and they will grow. You can try to take, you can take this netting off. I usually do, but I don't, again, I don't separate these. I don't take these, I don't separate them. I don't transplant them until a good 12 to 14 weeks or more. So, but again, you can, no one says you cannot take these. Once these are germinating, you cannot separate them now. It's way too early to separate them. But no one says, like, if you have 6 of these pods, and you have a whatever type of planter you're going to use, and you say, okay, I have 3 Coleus. These are the Coleus I want to do. I want to put these in my window box planter, and you want to put them in a row. You could take your 4 pods and your whatever here, 8 Coleus, and just put them in a line, and that's fine. You can do that. Just make sure you use good quality Miracle Grow potting soil, potting mixture. There is a difference potting soil and potting mixture. The potting mixture, sometimes it's safe for seeding. It's very, very fluffy, and it's a very, very fine soil, and it's very easy for the new germinations, the plants, for the roots to develop, to get anchored in. But you can use either or. So you can do that. No one says you can't do that. But as far as separating these, like later on, you can't do that for another 14 weeks or so until they're a lot stronger. And also at that time, you'll know, as far as from my position, the amount of Coleus that I have and the different varieties. I want to wait and see, what I have, and then I organize them from there. And then I design my hanging baskets, my little gift planters, my oval aluminum pans. I have a number of different ones, and I kind of design them based on what develops, how the plants develop, and how many Kong, how many jitters, how many Defiance, black stockings, jollies, whatever ones that I have here growing. That's how I do it. But I still got plenty of time for that. April, May, more like May, and then by the end of May or so, it'll be time to move out to the greenhouse outside. So, all right. So I hope if you're following along, you're getting the same results. If you're not, don't worry. If you haven't planted your seeds yet, don't worry. You still can. Especially if you live in a zone that really doesn't have a winter, where where you're getting down to the 30s, and like Texas, parts of Texas, Florida, where you're in the 60s and 70s all year long, you're golden. You can do this anytime. I'd be in lots of trouble if I lived down there eventually. So. Okay, I hope everyone's having a great New Year so far, and just keep track. Let's get a little close up here. See how close we can go. There you go. There's a couple of little ones. And again, as before I close out, as these grow after weeks and weeks, you're going to see some coleus plants that are really sorry looking. And they say you have five or six, and like 2 of them really look sorry. They're just underdeveloped or whatever. Pluck them out. Those are weaker for whatever, genetics, mutation, or whatever. Just pluck them out, or you can let them grow. It doesn't mean just because they're smaller, they're runts, doesn't mean they're not going to grow up to be beautiful plants. And I, as habit over the years, I always choose a few runts or the ugliest coleuses that I see developing. I always save 1 or 2 to see, what it's going to develop into. So, all right, there's a couple of really strong ones. All right, so Happy New Year, everybody, and look forward to more videos here at Jim's Wholiest of Coleus. Again, subscribe if you're not. Pass the channel along to your friends who are into plants, Coleus. I really appreciate it. I'm shooting for 1,000 members soon. I'm in over 900 now. It's amazing. Every day I get a little more membership. I'm really excited. So I thank everybody. All right, take care, everyone. And let's